So let's go on, and let's think about a Neptune decade. And Neptune, I put a picture of fog here because it's a very foggy little energy. Neptune decades are all about the intangibles in life. What is difficult to quantify. So sometimes religions are a big one. People get religious, they find God, they kind of get high on spirituality on some level. So whether they're subscribing to angels, whether they're embracing a specific religion, it's very intense for them. And to be honest, it's a little hard for other people around maybe to even understand what they're subscribing to. Of course, on a really maybe more difficult, challenging level, Neptune decades is one that generally people become very knowledgeable about pharmaceuticals. So whether it's they're now under 3 prescription drugs from their doctor, whether they're using marijuana, whether they're using, street drugs of some sort, they're now learning pharmacy, the world of pharmacy. Maybe they're attending to an elderly parent and they're having to learn about drug interactions and things of that nature. So just be aware, the Neptune decade is, again, a little surprising. It's a very creative energy, so it's fabulous for artists, for musicians, people who feel this intangible need and they can sing a song and they can dance, and they can express themselves in magical ways. My bottom line there is see no evil, hear no evil. When someone's under a Neptune decade, can you change their mind? No. There's a belief, the power of belief is so strong. So, of course, if it's a great belief of like, I'm going to eat really healthy, I'm not going to eat that, that's bad for me, you're not going to be able to tempt them away from it. There's other beliefs that some that we get a little more skeptical about, and we think they shouldn't be believing in that. Very hard when someone's under this influence. I'm going to use myself as an example here. At age 50, I hit the Neptune energy, and this is where the feng shui lady was born. You catch this, on the previous slide I mentioned, about foreign cultures, minorities, foreign belief systems. And all of a sudden, feng shui, made so much sense to me. I saw it everywhere I looked. I could tell to people, move this, change this, pick that up, erase that out of your life, and their lives changed. It was a drug. I'll tell you what it was, because it was such like when you all of a sudden discover a belief system that worked very well, transformed my life in many ways, and I shared it and transformed it with many other people as well. But it's interesting, I took a foreign name. Instead of launching out as Mary Swick, I chose, everyone calls me the Feng Shui Lady, so I went down and got my DBA as the Feng Shui Lady. So it was a hidden identity. Neptune decades are fabulous for the actors because you allow them to have a persona, to have an image, and you can, in some respects, hide behind it, get some privacy. So again, a simple example. The Neptune is very hard for other people to relate as why all of a sudden you're doing feng shui? Why? Are you Chinese? And I'll be honest, I had many people very disappointed when I showed up at their door, talking to me on the phone, booking the appointment, and I showed up, and they go, "Oh, are you married to a Chinese person?" I don't know. No, but I can do it, So it was just interesting how that worked out. So a Neptune decade is very therapeutic. Neptune, as many of you may know, is associated with hospitals, medical, the pharmaceuticals. So again, this is a natural time period to find yourself going to those type of facilities. And then on a fun level, Neptune rules like dog pounds, where dogs go where they're lost. Right? And this is a time period you may want to go to the dog pound to find your next pet, because you relate to those that are lost or those that can't speak for themselves. Religion and metaphysics is a very important part, and foreign travel or foreign associations or foreign belief systems just sweep into your life. And the interesting thing is, and I'm speaking again from personal experience, it wasn't that I was dreaming about being a feng shui consultant 2 years prior and thinking about how can I do this? It just drops onto you. It changes your temperament. It doesn't dictate. There was nothing about the astrological aspect that told me, feng shui lady, that's what you need to be. But there was some ephemeral energy there that there was a shift, and it changed my belief system. And whatever it would be for anyone, it changes who you are, and it changes how you look at life. And you generally, with the Neptune energy, you think very optimistically.